What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. Today we've got another Warframe news video going over an important hotfix that happened recently. Today we're going over the one that was the first nerf to any INCARNON Genesis adapter. We got the Skana Prime and Prisma Skana nerfs. We've also got some cost reductions to INCARNON Genesis installers, and another attempt to try and fix Ghost Thrax soft locking the game. But spoiler alert, the Ghost Thrax are actually more buggy than ever. In a mission that we ran, we had about, I think there was a total of like 6 Ghost Thrax all bugged out at the same time on the map. And it actually was kind of like, it ruined the mission a little bit. So we're going over all that stuff today. Hope you guys enjoy these types of videos. We'll have some more videos coming out this weekend as well. Also, make sure you check out the live stream channel. We'll be live tomorrow, getting the new INCARNONs for the week. And then I will have a video out on the Boltor very quickly. Also, I think I'm going to do a video as well overviewing should you do the Telos Boltor or the Boltor Prime, as those are two relatively powerful variants of the Boltor. And yeah, the Boltor INCARNON is going to be this upcoming week, so get ready for that. Get some gameplay on the screen of some bugged out Thrax, and let's start the video. Hope you guys enjoy these types of videos. I enjoy making these videos, to be honest. I actually do enjoy these Warframe news videos. It's nice when we actually have stuff going on in Warframe for once. Alright, so let's start with update 33.0.6, and I want to let you know that these patch notes were edited. I was supposed to make this video probably like on Thursday, but yeah, here we are on Saturday. This patch did come on Thursday with these changes, and they actually edited the changes because, as you can see in our mission right now, the Ghost Thrax are still bugged out. So they have actually edited the patch notes and said the Ghost Thrax are still bugged out, even though they nerfed Silence from Banshee to try and alleviate these Ghost Thrax bugging out. So, let's start it up here. Alright, first off, we'll go in order here. Resource cost changes for Akrathis' wares and INCARNON Genesis installation. So, they have reduced the Duviri resource costs requirements for several of Architis' wares and for a certain resource used in the Genesis INCARNON installation process at Cavallero. So basically, you can read this as the INCARNON installer things, or the INCARNON adapters, take less resources to install overall now. They used to take, I think some of the comparisons like 70 Drakroot before. I think it's like 60 or 50 Drakroot now. And they will be running a script to give everybody that already unlocked these INCARNON Genesis adapters, they will give you a script to refund that stuff. They don't have the exact numbers what it was changed to here, but yeah. We're over a bit of a week from the launch of the Duviri Paradox that already happened, and we've reviewed how many players participated in resource collecting in Duviri. Ultimately, we have determined that the resource costs in the store and for the INCARNON Genesis installations were simply too high for what players were earning. Some of those Captura scenes in the vendor were really high, and I would know too because I accidentally misclicked on one and bought a Captura scene twice. But we actually have a change today that might alleviate that even more, besides the fact they're refunding for the cost reduction. So that's kind of nice. They're refunding both the INCARNON Unlocker price and the Captura store price. So if you bought stuff from the vendor or you installed INCARNON Unlockers, expect more resources to be returned to you in the future. But there will be 2 different scripts. Don't expect that immediately. It will come over a short period of time. Alright, changes. Now resource boosters will apply to fish parts when you're doing maw fishing on Duviri. Guys, split farming with 4 people maw fishing is super, super fast. And now it's twice as fast if you have a booster. You're going to be getting about 81 or 80-something scales per fish here. And you're also going to be getting, or per complete fishing attempt, and you're also going to be getting, more maw fangs, more pebbles, etc., etc. You can buy a 1,750 pebble cost Captura seat in like a half hour. And that was before the patch. So now that you have this, you probably have the Captura seat in like 15 minutes if the full team. So very, very good there. So that's all well and good. Let's move on to something that is not good and actually is kind of a slap in the face to some of the original players that started this game up in the first place. Now, I'm not one of those players, but let's go over the nerf to the Skana Helminth, or Skana INCARNON Genesis adapters. And even if you are not a founder, you should be worried about this because they started with one of the weapons I wasn't even expecting to get nerfed. So I am definitely expecting nerfs on the horizon for some of the fan favorite INCARNON unlockers, like the Latron, the the Strun, and maybe even like the Paris and the Bratton. I feel like everything's on the Nerf chopping block after this one. All right, and we've got a little bit of nerd math too. Change the following Skana variant's elemental excess INCARNON Genesis Evolution. Reminder on what that is. The INCARNON Genesis Evolution is going to be, you can choose different perks, like, okay, do you want to go for the high crit chance increase on this choice, or do you want to go for the status chance increase? This is specifically the status chance increase INCARNON option on both the Prisma Skana and the Skana Prime. Yes, the Skana Prime, a weapon that basically nobody has. You had to be a founder in like 2013 or whatever, and gave DE like $150 to have this sword. They nerfed the $150 Prime Access sword that only like original founders have. Yes. And they're actually nerfing it more than they're nerfing the Prisma Skana. They're trying to put the Prisma Skana and the Skana Prime on par. So I got a little bit of nerd math. I don't know if, I didn't really I don't do in-depth nerd math usually, but we have a little bit of nerd math to go over here. But let's just show what they changed. So for the Prisma Skana, the status chance increase of elemental excess went from 30% increase to 20% increase. And remember, this is added, like this is actual base chance, additive status chance here. So the massive amount of slash reduction you're going to be getting on this is going to be insane. Like, you would be getting so many less slash procs comparatively if you have Weeping Wounds on there. But we're not done. That was the Prisma Skana. It went from base 30% to 20. The Prime went from plus 24 to 10. So they literally they cut it in half and then cut off a little bit more for good measure. From 24 increased base status chance to 10%. And I know the Prisma the Skana Prime has good base stats. But man, like I said, only like original founders have it. I feel like this was unnecessary. The first nerf is going to be a founder weapon that nobody has, besides like founders that are still, and truth be told, a lot of the founders that have that weapon aren't even around anymore because that was a long time ago. So you have to have a founder that's still dedicated to the game. Well, first of all, let's put this in perspective. You have to have a founder that was dedicated to the game enough to buy a over $100 Prime Access when the game was basically nothing. They have to have been around, come back to the game, they are aware enough of the game to actually play the Steel Path and grind out Steel Path Circuit, the newest content. They get to like level 5 or level 10 and then install it and then know enough about builds to pick the elemental excess one that they think sounds good. So you have to have a founder that's doing all these things, and then you massively nerf his sword. And you make the sword that everybody can get, the Prisma Skana, arguably better. Let's see if I can find that nerd math I was talking about. But yeah, this was definitely a bad one. This was definitely a bad one. Now, of course, the Skana Prime will still be good. It's a slash sword. It's just I don't understand what the point of it was. If there's so many people that don't even have this, why are you just needlessly like nerfing the founders? This is not the first time they've done this. They've done this with Riven Dispo on the Skana Prime way back in the day too. And they're supposed to do Riven Dispo off of popular weapons. Of course, the Skana Prime's not popular. We just established it's a founder-only weapon from like 2013, 2014, whenever the game first came out, or when the first Prime Access was made. So yeah, the first nerf ever is a founder weapon that's exclusive, like for money. That does not seem like the way you treat your original founding players of the game. Okay, so yeah, let's just say the nerd math is in, and the Prisma Skana is going to be better. At least with base stats, and you're not like taking Rivens into account. I don't know if the Riven Dispo for the Prisma Skana is better than the Skana Prime. Maybe over time, the Skana Prime and the Prisma Skana will have the same Riven Dispo or similar. But as it is right now, I don't see a big enough difference. And I'm going to definitely say that the Prisma Skana, hilariously, might be better than the original Founder Sword. Let me know your guys' opinions about this in the comments. Do you feel like it would be okay if Founders had some godly special weapon that no one else could obtain? I'm talking specifically about this Skana Prime, because they might have nerfed the Skana Prime Dispo, but the Founders also still have the Leto Prime. The Leto Prime was for the highest tier of Founder way back then. It's going to be actually much better than the Leto Vandal. It's going to have much better slash weighting. I think it's got better status chance too. For a slash proc build, the Leto Prime is just going to be better than the Leto Vandal. Now, is DE going to be like, okay, the Skana Prime is better than the Leto Vandal, nerf the Skana Prime INCARNON? Will they do that now too? Because I think that would be even more unnecessary and rude, because now you're going from the $150 sword to the $200 pistol. So I think that Founders should have had this exclusive sword that would have been probably the strongest sword in the game. Who's going to care? It's not like swords are that different in the first place. They're all just a bunch of base stats. They have the same stances. The Skana Prime didn't have any special gimmick. It honestly is very similar to the Pangolin Prime, with probably a little bit better attack speed. So I wouldn't have cared. Honestly, most players wouldn't have even noticed or known that it was even a thing. But now DE made it a thing, so now all eyes are on how different they are. And of course, the variants are supposed to have different stats. They say that right here. Varying values for variants are intended for all Incarnon Genesis weapons. But they say that, but then they massively nerf both of them. I mean, even going from 30% to 20% is a big nerf. But like the Skana Prime one is just like, holy crap, not even like a slap in the face. It's like a punch in the gut right there. From 24 to 10, like a massive, massive nerf. Okay, so we've gone over that. Let's go over this. So this is the thing about the Ghost Thrax I was talking about. So you know how they nerfed Magus Lockdown working on Ghost Thrax, I think like 4 days ago at this point? They have done the same thing with Silence from Banshee. Banshee's Silence will no longer cause VIP bosses and other CC immune enemies to become immune to perform reaction animation. So basically, it's supposed to be on Ghost Thrax and Acolytes. So you'll still turn off Acolytes' abilities, but you won't stun them or anything like that. But they crossed out these patch notes because, as you can see from the footage I showed you, it is more bugged than before. So if you stack Magus Lockdown and Banshee Silence, you will bug out Ghost Thrax pretty much every time. I was walking through this mission, we had 3 or 4 bugged out Ghost Thrax in one room, and you'd go to like every Exilize, so there'd be another bugged out Ghost Thrax just chilling there, like in the same animation, like just like hanging out basically. So they're going to try and fix that one, and again in the future, it's not working right now. And then yeah, that's basically it for this hotfix. You got some cost reductions for Incarnon Genesis and the vendor. You got some resource boosters working on fishing on Duviri, which is a nice change. You got a big nerf to the Skana Prime Incarnon Genesis. Sorry, any founder. Let me know how you guys feel about that one in the comments. And then you got you had an attempted fix at Ghost Thrax again, but it seems like it just made the problem worse. So that's it for the video, guys. Hope you find it enjoyable and helpful. Make sure you're subbed to this channel so you can see when the new Bratton video, or the Boltor video goes up. And I'll be doing an overview for the Telos Boltor and the Boltor Prime tomorrow, so we can do an overview on that. Also, yeah, enjoy picking those Incarnons for next week. It'll be kind of a hard choice for me. I'm thinking I'm going to go Magistar and Boltor. But honestly, after last week with the Furax, I'm kind of like hesitant to go for any melee Incarnon. So we'll see. Maybe I'll end up going for like the Bronco or the Lex. But the Bronco sounds kind of boring either way. I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate the support. Take it easy. Peace.